A very special thing about Norway is the way people interact with and make use of nature. It hasn't been anything like this in the other countries that I have lived in before.
This is one heavy backpack, and we're going fishing today.
In Norway, people have a term for unmotorized outdoor activities like skiing, fishing, hunting, berry picking, or just bathing. It's called Friluftsliv. And what's very different here in comparison to other countries is that pretty much everybody is into it. Due to the fact that Norway is loaded with beautiful nature sceneries and has a very low population density, a lot of people have access to fairly undisturbed nature. And therefore, outdoor activities are the first choice for most people to take care of your physical and mental health. But it isn't solely about exploring. This freedom also gives you the chance to develop a different relationship to your food.
One of the best things about Norway and living on the countryside is the fact that you can be somewhat self-sufficient when it comes to your protein sources. A simple fishing rod should be enough to fill up the freezer every now and have 1 or 2 fish meals every single week. In Norway, the ocean and therefore the fish in the ocean belongs to everybody. So you don't need a specific license to fish in the sea, which makes it much more comfortable. There we go. Starting with this lure today, going for mackerel. Three lures and absolutely no fish so far, so we're moving on farther along the coast to a spot with a little lasty water. You always need to check yourself for ticks here constantly, especially on the coast side where it's a bit warmer in the winter and they're not dying so much. And apart from that, you have the nice biting flies. But we made it to the spot that we wanted to go to. Time for another try with fishing.
Apart from the option to fish in the lakes and the sea, the countryside also comes with fairly different opportunities to purchase meat. Personally, I'm not a big fan of large-scale industrial husbandry, so having a few smaller farms around you where you know how the animals are raised and what they have been eating is quite a privilege. I'm aware that this isn't for everybody, but for me, participating in the killing of an animal and the social part of slaughtering it afterwards has greatly enhanced the perception of value of the meat that we are eating. But back to the fishing day and the joy of Friluftsliv. Whenever you get particularly bored of throwing a piece of metal into water without anything biting it, which will most likely be the case, you can unpack your gas and snacks and sit back with an oatmeal and a cup of coffee. And even though you normally bring much plainer and lighter foods to these days outside, they do have the tendency to taste much better than they do at home. I had been fishing at that particular arm of the fjord since about 10 in the morning, and just as we approached midnight, things started to shift.
I was about ready to go home and give up on this fishing experiment, and then I just saw that there were some splashes in this bay, and there are actually a swarm of mackerels in here that are hunting right now. I already caught 2. Let's see if we can actually make it to a decent amount of food, like I promised in the beginning. So I'm aiming over in that direction, and in the middle they normally hit if I'm in a medium speed with the lure. Let's see. Maybe I'm talking too much again. Seems not working. Not for the camera. You have something. Finally. That should be number 3. God damn. I hope we would have this moment together, but no. Just let it be. Yes. Now I need to just get all this off. This time we're getting it. There it is. They're so powerful and also so beautiful. Such a good looking fish. Pretty much midnight now, and the water is coming back as well. The magic of the mackerel fishing kind of seems to be gone. Such a great and unexpected evening. This was quite some decent fishing. The best I had in a while. After a very slow start, you see that sometimes it just takes patience, nothing else.
With the fish that I caught this summer, mainly mackerel and trout, a half pig that we bought from a farm that we know, a deer that we got from the neighbor, and a sheep that we slaughtered with friends, we should be pretty much sufficient in meat until the mid of next season, and do not have to rely on buying anything from the supermarket. From a nutritionist and the biologist point of view, this was a very big milestone to achieve, and I'm glad that we could do it by moving to the countryside. The best thing about it though is that these activities have been either social, together with other caring humans, or in nature, which greatly contributes to the human well-being at the same time.